In the heart of a vibrant African village, nestled between endless hills and golden sunsets, there lived a woman named Zara. She was as graceful as the wind, her beauty so radiant that it left every man in the village breathless. But there was one problem. Zara was terrified of love, terrified of being hurt, terrified of the lies, and terrified of being trapped in the wrong union. She turned down every suitor who came her way. "Why would I marry when all I've seen are broken hearts?" Zara would often ask with a heavy heart. For years, the whispers followed her. Her village called her everything from heartless to cursed for refusing to settle down. But Zara paid no mind. She was at peace with herself, or so she thought. She had no one but her mother, Amina, who began to grow impatient. "You are wasting your beauty," Amina would scold, hoping Zara would relent. Yet Zara held fast to her conviction. Then one fateful day, while walking along the forest path to the market, a venomous snake struck Zara's foot, and she collapsed into unconsciousness, her scream lost in the winds. But who would hear her cry for help? That was when Musa, a kind-hearted traveler, stumbled upon her. Musa, with his broad shoulders and gentle hands, rushed to Zara's side. His heart pounded as he carried her to the village healer, Baba Kofi, who worked tirelessly to save her life. The moment Zara opened her eyes, she saw Musa's face, bathed in the glow of the setting sun. They locked eyes, and the world seemed to disappear. It was love at first sight. Zara, finally finding a man who stirred her heart, accepted Musa's proposal to marry him without hesitation. But little did she know the path to happiness would soon be clouded by shadows. Musa's mother, Fatima, had other plans. Fatima was feared by many in the village. She was known to dabble in the forbidden arts, her magic said to be gifted from the river goddess herself. Though she was Musa's mother, she was feared by everyone, and her sharp tongue and cold heart were enough to send chills through the bravest souls. When she visited the newlywed couple, her arrival was like a storm. "Zara, your food is tasteless," Fatima grumbled. "Is this what you call feeding my son?" Musa, already familiar with his mother's notorious ways, ignored her. But what Fatima lacked in warmth, she made up for in power. Her spells were unspoken, but ever present. The days grew darker as Zara endured Fatima's cruel treatment. Every chore, every meal, every moment felt like a test Zara could never pass. No matter how much she tried to please her, Fatima found something to criticize. Zara had become more than just a daughter-in-law. She was a servant in her own home. But Zara held her head high. Her heart never wavered. And then it happened. One night, Zara confided in Musa. She told him of the cruel mistreatment, how his mother made her life a living nightmare. Musa's eyes filled with anger, but there was nothing he could do. That night, while Zara slept, Fatima cast a spell on her son, one that would silence him forever to his wife's pain. Musa could no longer see or feel the wrongs done to Zara. Under the curse, he became an unwilling accomplice in Fatima's malicious plan. Zara, not knowing the truth, continued to suffer in silence, her love for Musa still unwavering. But it was becoming unbearable. Fatima's reign of terror was relentless. The weight of the world grew heavier on Zara's shoulders, but one day she discovered she was pregnant. Her heart leaped with joy. She was going to be a mother. But the happiness was short-lived. Fatima, upon hearing this news, seethed with rage. She plotted to ensure Zara would never see the birth of her child. Zara's pregnancy was delayed. Weeks passed, then months. Her belly grew heavy, but there were no signs of labor. Why hadn't she delivered yet? As her strength waned, Zara made a heart-wrenching decision. She would leave her husband's house and seek refuge in her mother's home until the child arrived. But Fatima overheard their conversation. "You won't escape," Fatima whispered, casting another spell into the air. Zara, desperate for peace, never knew the true extent of her mother-in-law's magic. Fatima poisoned Zara's food, hoping to weaken her enough to stop her from leaving. Zara grew dizzy and weak, falling into a deep, unnatural slumber. When she awoke, hours had passed and the night had fallen. Something was wrong. Her heart raced. The truth hit her like a cold wind. Fatima had cast a spell to stop her from leaving. Days turned into weeks, and still no sign of labor. Zara's strength was fading, but she never gave up hope. She confided in her mother Amina, who, in a fit of fear and desperation, took Zara to a healer in the mountains. The healer confirmed Zara's worst nightmare. Her pregnancy was under a powerful curse, but there was hope, a way to break the spell, a bath in the river Afia, where the magic was born. With her mother by her side, Zara journeyed to the river. There, she immersed herself in its sacred waters, and after 3 days, she felt her strength return. On the 4th day, labor began, and after 6 long hours, Zara gave birth to a healthy baby boy. However, back at Musa's home, Fatima's evil had not been undone. She had brought another woman to marry her son, Uri, a woman with powerful magic of her own. Fatima tried to control her, but Uri was no ordinary woman. When Fatima attempted to use magic against her, Uri stood strong, her powers nullifying Fatima's dark spells. In a final act of vengeance, Fatima attempted to poison Uri's food. But Uri, ever vigilant, had already swapped the poisoned meal, ensuring Fatima would be the one to suffer. The next morning, Fatima lay motionless. Her spell over Musa broke, and he finally saw the truth of what had happened to his wife. Musa, heartbroken and filled with regret, went to Zara, who had already given birth to their son. He begged for forgiveness, revealing the curse his mother had placed on him. Zara, with her kind heart, forgave him. She returned to her home, where she learned of Fatima's death. Though sorrow filled her heart, she knew that her life, her new life with Musa and their son, was just beginning. As Zara and Musa began to rebuild their life, they knew one thing for sure. True love, no matter how broken, can always heal. But for those who would seek to harm others, the forces of nature and the gods themselves are watching, waiting. The moral of the story is clear. Never let fear control your heart, and never underestimate the power of kindness, love, and the will to fight for what is right.